Good morning, Marianne.
Good morning. How is everybody?
Yeah.
Good. Good to see everybody's ready. Is
Yes.
Susi there? He's probably with you, is he?
Yeah.
Good.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I've just got another 2 minutes waiting for people. We're about 6 or 7 people short. Okay, well, I think we probably should start now. We've got 26 people popping in as we speak. So that's great. So I hope everybody had a lovely rest yesterday afternoon after the busy day of learning all about Coriolis meters. What we did yesterday was we had a good deep look at how Thailand's measurement system works, and with respect to the Coriolis meters, how they've carried out their regulation and how they manage their legislation. Then Kumpanat explained the construction, the history, the Coriolis effect, the theory of operation, and the typical construction for a Coriolis meter. We didn't even let him have a break, but he continued on looking at the designing, the performance, and the limitations of working and the selecting, how to select a Coriolis meter. So that was a lot to take in. And I was pleased to see there were some very good questions from people, which we have answered all of them. I think there was a question overnight that was sent to Benji that we might be able to give an answer to this morning, and also to see if there are any more questions that you have on yesterday's work. So with that in mind, Benji, can you or Kumpanat, can you explain the question that was asked, please? I think it came from Vietnam.
No, the question is from Indonesia.
Oh, Indonesia. Oh, sorry.
Okay, and I will show you the question that we got yesterday. So the question that we got is that which part should be repaired or replaced if the repeatability test results out of MPE limitation? Which part should we suspect, and is it true that the drive coil must be replaced? This is the questions, and from our side, from Thailand, we answered that it could be possibly that it has air bubble inside the system which exceed the MPE limitation during repeatability test. Thus, for installed system, we should suspect that the air eliminator might not work properly. Also, the pump since that could make the air bubble in the system. For the meter, we could check the drive coil for the problem.
Okay, thank you, Benji, and thank you, Thailand, for providing that answer. I'm going to ask Philip, have you got anything else to add to that question or to that answer? It's sort of like it could be anything that's wrong, and I think what Thailand has pointed to is to some reasonable concepts that could be causing the problem. But you might have something to add.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm still struggling with the time shift a little bit, but it should be okay. Yeah, this is one possible answer, right? There might also be a defect in the physical construction itself of the meter, which could be, yeah, a possible answer to that question.
But basically, if it's outside its MPE, it should be decommissioned and you call in a service person, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
defection of construction possible.
I think what you said was also could be a defect in the construction, not defection, a defect, D-E-F-E-C-T.
A defect, yeah, defect.
Yeah,
just
just trying to write down what you said. Defect in the physical construction, which means it might not be conforming with its patent approval or something like that. So there could be something basic wrong with it. So you have to check everything really. But what I think Indonesia was asking is like, where would you go first? What would you sort of suspect would be the problem? So if you try the air eliminator and it still doesn't work, well, then you have to look at something else and something else and something else. So there could be lots of things wrong. Okay, well, thank you for that answer, Philip, for that addition. And again, thank you to Thailand and thank you to Indonesia for the question. So let's go back to everybody again and see, are there any more questions that anybody wants to ask? If you just put your hand up if you want to say something.
May I give one other? I'm still thinking about that question. Second possibility or third possibility could be a wrong installation. For example, if a meter is being installed under stress. Another possibility.
What do you mean by a meter being installed under stress?
For example, under pressure. Under pressure, or under torsion, if the tubes, you remember the video we have seen yesterday, if they cannot oscillate freely anymore.
Yeah, okay, that's
this could cause an
incorrect reading.
An incorrect result. Yeah. But it's just another possibility. Yeah.
Yeah. All righty. Okay, you done?
Okay. Yes.
I don't want to cut you off too soon. Okay, so anybody else with another question, please? You're very quiet. Does that mean no questions? Okay, well, we'll assume there's no questions, but of course you can always ask at any time in the chat. I see lots of good mornings in the chat, and good morning to all of you as well, but I don't see any questions. So with that, then I did say I wasn't going to be able to speak for 15 minutes because there's nothing more to say. So I think then we have to ask Kumpana to start his presentation on the installation and maintenance. So he's going to look at installation, the influence quantities, and the maintenance. So some of that will give some more insight into the question we've just been answering as well. So I'll hand over to you, and let's hope we have no more technical problems. You need to unmute your microphone and away you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Marian. Okay, everybody. See you again on day 2 of seminar. Today we will talk about installation and maintenance. There are three topics as follow this slide. 1, installation, 2, influence quantity, and maintenance. Installation. Installation is consists of orientation, pipe support, downstream valve, wiring, pipelining of inlet and outlet, gas flow application, and special application consideration. Installation of a Coriolis mass flowmeter must strictly follow manufacturer instruction in order to get high performance operation of a flowmeter as designated. When the flowmeter is used to measure liquid, best practice of installation must measure liquid through the meter all the time. In still preserve a condition of the liquid or mass flowmeter metering time, thus Coriolis mass flowmeter should be installed in a direction that void, air, or gas are captured inside the tube while liquid is following. Since this type of flowmeter will not provide an accurate measuring result if there is a mixture between liquid and gas inside the tube or two-phase liquid inside the tube. Okay, next. Orientation. Orientation, generally the popular shape of mass flowmeter is to have a wet part installed with the vertical pipe, having liquid flow upward direction. Since there is high possibility that liquid will always fully flow inside the tube, is orientation is appropriate for mass flowmeter using to measure two-phase liquid. For example, liquid mixing with gas. However, mass flowmeter is different from might be appropriate to install with the tube system in other direction, depend upon the design of the flowmeter. In order to measure gas or vapor, orientation should be in the form that not causing condensation of liquid. Thus, supplementary equipment such as liquid taps should be installed before inlet. Okay, on the slide, two up position install of a sensor unit used to measure mass flow rate of a gas or suspension, and below picture two down position installation of a sensor unit used to measure mass flow rate of a liquid this slide remark to install, you should not install measuring tube. 1, 2, at the position that could occur siphon of the tube. And the last one in that cause gas trapped inside the tube. Okay, everyone can see slide orientation. You hear me?
No. In front of us, that installation and maintenance PowerPoint only we saw.
Your slide, I think your presentation is stuck.
Installation and maintenance. This slide is installation and maintenance, and I have 3 topics. Okay. Something have problem in my internet. Hello.
I can hear you.
Marian, you can see.
I can see installation and maintenance. Move it on to the next slide for me and see. Let me see what's happening.
Okay, next slide. Installation.
Yeah.
Have a.
Yeah.
Have a
I'm on slide. I can see slide 144. It looks like you haven't put it onto playing.
144.
Like, you know how you haven't got it on slideshow the way I can see it. You've just got it as if you were working on it.
And can you see slide 145?
No.
No.
It's
Oh.
stuck on 144, but it's not on slideshow either.
Yeah, that's true. It's not in the presentation mode. It's still in the edition mode with a blue donut in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
I will share again.
That's better. That's better.
It looks better. Yes, that's true.
Much better. Try the next. Yes, perfect.
It works. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, off you go.
145 slide.
You're on 145 now.
Okay, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I just while we're at it, Samarak has asked what kinds of liquid can a Coriolis mass flow meter measure? And then he was telling us the slides got stuck on the installation and maintenance. Okay, so if you could think about Samarak's question and answer it as you go, that would be good. And I think you're fine to go ahead.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Back to
okay. Installation consists of 7 topics: orientation, pipe support, downstream valve, wiring, pipelining of inlet and outlet, gas flow application, and special application consideration. Next slide. Everyone can see?
Yes, it's good. Orientation.
Yes,
Orientation's on now.
Okay. Orientation. Generally, the popular shape of the mass flow meter is to have wet part installed with a vertical pipe, having a liquid flow upward direction. since there is high possibility that liquid will always fully flow inside the tube, this orientation is appropriate for mass flow meter using to measure two-phase liquid. For example, liquid mixing with gas. However, mass flow meter in a different form might be appropriate to install with a tube system. In other directions, depend upon the designer of the flow meter. In order to measure gas or vapor, orientation should be in the form that not causing condensation of liquid. That supplementary equipment such as liquid traps should be installed before inlet. Okay, see the slide in the left picture. Two up position. Installation of a sensor unit used to measure mass flow rate of a gas or suspension. And right picture, two down position. Installation of a sensor unit used to measure mass flow rate of the liquid. Okay, next slide. Remark of orientation. To install Coriolis mass flow meter to measure liquid, you should not install measuring tube. One, at the highest position of a tube system, and two, at the position at could occur siphon out of the tube, and in direction that gas get trapped inside the tube. Next slide. High support. Vibration with the tube system normally does not impact the performance of a Coriolis mass flow meter. Its good installation of high support is to install at inlet and outlet enough and appropriate, but should not install high support directly with a mass flow meter. The good position is at the inlet and outlet in order to make tube system at the inlet and outlet. Okay, everyone see the picture. This is a distance between pipe or flow tube junction and support must not exceed 15 inch or about 45 centimeter. And below the picture is a pipe support. Is a U raised, V raised, V bolt clamped, inverted ply hanger clamped, and V block clamped. Next slide. Okay, pipe support. This is an example for the pipe support. Okay, down steam valve. In order to make a Coriolis mass flow meter operate with high accuracy for all measuring range, especially for lowest flow rate, such that you should ensure that completely trapped of a liquid to not flow out of flow meter at the outlet while doing zero adjustment. In the case to measure flow rate for dispute fluid out of tank, you should install sensor unit and a control valve, and should not install flexible hose between sensor unit and a control valve, because flexible hose might expand or shrink when pressure change while flow meter operating. If necessary, to use flow meter to measure flow receiving product into the tank, you should install check valve around inlet of a sensor unit to protect flow meter duplicate measuring a quantity of a liquid. Next slide, wiring. Most Coriolis and mass flow meter manufacturer provide transmitter that transmit signal to control room that's far away from the position that sensor unit is installed. Thus, you could install measuring tube that does not require transmitter in actual operation. In addition, you could connect ground cable and protect signal cable from a sensor unit. One problem needed to be careful is a disturbance of a signal due to electromagnetic interference, or you can call EMI for short. This factor disturbs signal cable or electronic device of a Coriolis mass flow meter, such that some manufacturers suggest to install sensor unit far from a transformer or electric motor okay, everyone see the picture, or the power line or lining or radio and TV, because it have a EMI. Okay, it's far from transformer, electronic motor, and in the picture at least 60 centimeter. Moreover, you should not wire the electric cord together with the signal cable in one conduit, and should not wiring over electromagnetic source such as motor. Okay, next slide. Two lining at the inlet and outlet of a Coriolis mass flow meter. Mostly manufacturer of this type of a flow meter does not specify form of lining both and at inlet and outlet like other type of flow meters. However, some manufacturers specify that inlet and outlet must be strength to at least 30 times of size of a tube that installed with a mass flow meter. Next, gas flow application. Since density of a gas is very low, but size of a Coriolis mass flow meter is length only between 1 inch and 4 inches. Thus, in order to decrease pressure drop to the mass flow meter as much as that's in order to decrease the pressure drop to the mass flow meter as much as possible. Tube lining using reducer for changing tube system, both inlet and outlet, should be especially careful to avoid sudden pressure change. Okay, next slide. Special application consideration. Special application consideration is mean a special application. It mean refer to the installation of a Coriolis flowmeter in a very hot or cool temperature, or the Coriolis mass flowmeter are installed in the series. In this case, it must be done by a skilled person or a professional only. Okay, next slide. Installation and influence quantity. Influence quantity is consists of fatigue, fluid property, orientation of installation, complication of operation, and the last one, zero stability. Fluid quantity and on a Coriolis mass flowmeter. We okay, fatigue with cause one fatigue with cause erosion because of a stress, and two, fluid property light density because they have air or gas mixed with the test fluid, or having slurry liquid impact operation of flowmeter. For example, if there are slurry liquid that make a squirt inside the tube, maximum velocity of a fluid flowing inside the tube will less than 2 meters per second or 6 feet per second. 3, installation should be in a direction that could not cause air or gas be deducted inside the tube, or avoid high pressure drop to make a cultivation inside the tube. 4, complication of operation of mass flowmeter in order to do series installation, which might cause error in operation, which will be solved by installing cupping. And zero ability, since pressure and temperature of fluid impact zero ability. Okay, next slide. Maintenance is finally for me before coffee break. One of advantage of a Coriolis mass flowmeter is that it requires regular maintenance. Since this type of a flow meter has few movable parts because of this reason, Coriolis flow meter is very popular. When realizing with the cost in the actual operation. Since the transmitter is an important part of the system, it should be fully checked at least twice 2 years by checking according to suggestion from a manufacturer. Also checking at many positions should be done. While appropriate signal simulating or using with type of equipment, you should consult with manufacturer. You also have to keep in mind that checking the transmitter cannot be replaced calibration. Since the calibration of flow meter is to checking cooperation between transmitter and sensor unit. Flow meter calibration could be done according to specification from manufacturer or according to international standard. I recommend that you should let the Coriolis flow meter operators and calibrate with reliable reference standard. This calibration method will provide high accuracy result. But if this method is not possible, you could check only electronic system, but you should accept that there is a lower reliable. Anyone have question? Hello.
We're
yeah.
here. Any questions, people?
Yes, we got some questions from the chat, from chat box. So I will share the question that I captured from the chat box. Mr. Kampana, could you stop the screen sharing so I can share my screen? Thank you.
Okay, if everyone have another question, thank you everyone who listening attentively. Thank you.
Here is the questions that we captured from the chat. So the first question is from Cambodia. What kinds of liquid can Coriolis mass flow meter measure?
It's a many.
May I jump in at this point?
That'd be good, Philip. Thank you.
Okay, because I have read the questions in the background during Kumpanet's presentation already, and I think I can answer all of these questions. I have typed in an answer already. So Benji, if you don't mind, I can send it to you via the chat box. So the first question would be, what kinds of liquids can Coriolis mass flow meters measure? This answer is pretty easy. Basically, all kind of liquids can be measured with a Coriolis meter. As long there is a reasonable measuring effect, that means the liquid is let me call it measurable. The material of the meter shall be resistant against the liquid. That means against abrasive or corrosive liquid, and the liquid should be homogeneous. I think this is the answer to the question of Cambodia. The question from Brunei, so the size of the pipe, same size, both inlet and outlet, yeah. Easy answer, easy question. Yes, the diameter of inlet and outlet is always the same. And then we've got Vietnam. Coriolis meter. Let me just check the question again. No correction, but used to measure volumetric flow. In this case, are there temperature correction, pressure correction? And my answer to that question would be there needs to be a density measurement in order to convert mass into volume. There's no need for temperature or pressure. Well, density is to convert mass into volume. It's crucial to measure density. I can send you the answers, Benji, if you like.
Yes, okay, thank you. You can send me the answer, thank you.
Second, and then you can copy and paste them.
Yes.
A moment. Send to, how can I send it to you? It's alphabetic order. Yeah, I got it. I think I got it. No, I can't find you in the chat box.
Thank you.
She's there. She's under Andrew Yap.
Ah, there's the TH missing. Okay, I got it.
Oh, yes, you're looking for Thailand.
Yeah, I was looking for Thailand. That's true.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so are there any other questions? We've got down all the ones in the chat box, correct?
Did you get it, Benji? Benji, can you see the answers?
Yes, I got the answer from you.
Okay, so you can copy and paste them.
Okay, sure.
And these question and answers will be in the report. Benji, I thought I noticed that the link to the YouTubes wasn't on the PTB site this morning when I looked.
Yes, I just uploaded like
Today. All right, that's fine. No
Yes.
problem. As long as I wasn't missing it, that's good.
yeah, sorry for the
So if there's no other questions, I think we're going to go to morning tea. But there was one thing I should have said early on that I forgot to say. Benji has prepared a feedback form for everybody. And we're going to be asking you to fill that in at the end of the day. And you're going to have to put your name on it. And I think there's a certificate for people who attend the training, but also you have to fill in the feedback form to get the certificate. So please don't let us down by not giving us your feedback at the end of the day when Benji asks for it. All right, Benji, I'll let you do the closing before morning tea because you know when you want to come back.
yeah, so we should everyone should come back around 10, exactly 10. Is that okay? So we have like 18 minutes for the coffee break.
ไปใส่ออกไปตีโล
ครับ
สับสนหรือว่าแยกของเอาเป็นต้นเป็นกลุ่มหน่อยโน้ตบุ๊กกลางว่าเป็นถามสุด ติดโลกเลยถามบอกว่าได้เขียนผมเอาที่ใช้อาจจะได้ขนาด
Coming back? Are we
Hello,
coming
good
back?
morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Suthi. I come from West Amateur, Thailand.
Well, welcome, Suti. So Suti is going to deliver the next portion of the course to us. So thank you very much for taking over. We look forward to hearing from you. Keep going.
My name is Suthi. I calibration method, dye calibration. Since the Coriolis flowmeter is designed to free from any influence quantities such as density.
Excuse me, Mr. Susi. Could you please share your screen, share your slide?
I'm afraid his connection broke down. Because the sound was very bad as well.
Everyone can see slide. Hello.
Hello, we cannot see the slide.
The screen sharing hasn't happened. Ah, now something's happening. There we go. Well done.
Okay.
Perfect. We can hear you and we can see your slides.
Yeah.
You'll need to go forward much quickly because that's the morning of yesterday. It's past 1:40 something, wasn't it? Yes, earlier on.
It is 1:44.
Yeah, at least. Well, we're giving it a good test. Dry calibration. That's your
Yes.
topic. Beautiful. I'll be quiet.
Dry calibration, the Coriolis mass flowmeter is designed to free from any input quantity such as density, viscosity, temperature, pressure, and issue from calibration. The flowmeter with one type of liquid, but cannot be used with other type of liquid. Thus, this type of mass flowmeter is considered to be the most flexible mass flowmeter to use. Appropriate calibration method for Coriolis mass flowmeter is depend upon appearance of manufacturer, user, or surveyor who provides calibration service. There are two calibration methods available: dry calibration and wet calibration. Dry calibration by input calibration results obtained from the manufacturer and adjust zero setting with measure type of liquid. The we could measure flow rate by using measuring results obtained by the meter compared with the gravity method in order to check whether to input data making the measure result accurate before using it in an operation. In addition, accurate testing should be tested as is flow rate to guarantee accuracy. Next slide. Wet calibration. Master meter system. Weighing or gravity proving method is the most accurate and very convenient calibration method. This method is very popular and safe since we could use water instead of test liquid. However, other calibration methods could be used depend upon location, tools, and equipments, reference standard, or anything else. The calibration methods that I would like to introduce first is calibration using master meter system. The important thing is to consider for using this method is that you have to have the master meter with calibration from reliable certified body. the master meter must have calibration certificates ensuring that it is accurate enough. Then you should serial connect Coriolis meter with the master meter. Then calibrate Coriolis meter and different flow rate to compare with the result obtained from the master meter. Advantage of this calibration method is that the process could be done quickly and you could do calibration many times as is followed for the shorter time. In case that you have to do calibration for Coriolis meter that has variety of size and foliage, you shall change the master meter that have size matching with the Coriolis meter. Next slide. The important equipment for this calibration method is with receiver and weighing instrument or scale. That's calibration by weight or weight set that's calibrated from government authorities or relevant certified body. Since accuracy of the calibration result is mostly depend upon reference standards like weight, receiver, and scale being used in the calibration process. Thus, calibration certificate should be shown in order to ensure their accuracy. However, by using this method, you need to careful of error from backlog of liquids after falling. Thus, choose between Coriolis meter and on-off valve. Thus, on-off valve should be installed as close as possible to the waste receiver. Next slide. Weighing calibration. 1. Static weighing. 2. Dynamic weighing. This calibration method could be done in two schemes: static weighing and dynamic weighing. The static weighing, the scheme is efficiently use clean water as medium. In calibration process, the on-off valve will be used after water for choose Coriolis meter to the tank that's installed on the scale. Before when obtaining weighing result for the calibration method, the on-off value will withdraw of the water to reserve reservoir instead of the tank. 10 reading weighing result and collect the result with infinite quantity to water and scale, including buoyancy, force of water. Then divided weighing result of water after collecting process with time period since water flow into the tanks and after the water flow out of the tanks, you will gain the true mass flow rate. You could see that this static weighing scheme is very easy and for with accurate calibration, results in all reading value are obtained in stable condition. Another scheme is dynamic weighing. To use this scheme, you have to control liquid flow rate that for such Coriolis Flowmeter to be in steady flow rate condition when it flow into the tank that installed on the scale before the calibration process being when mass of the liquid is accumulated in the tank to the specific level, automatic which will be stimulated to count time and saving reading value at that time and consider that value to be default value until the specific weighing result is met. The automatic switch will be stimulated to stop. Next slide. Counting the time serving the reading value as that time is considered to be the end of the process. In this process, the on-off valve will be stimulated to be off the same time of the automatic switch. Then finding difference between weighing result obtained before and after, collecting the difference with infinite quantity to water and scale, including buoyancy force to water and other variant. Uncertainty should be considered as in the two scheme. Typically, uncertainty is less than 0.1% of mass flow rate. Advantage of the calibration method is that we could calibration the Coriolis Flowmeter by directly weighing mass. disadvantage of this method is that system using for calibration have to rather and costly to design, install, and maintenance. Moreover, time period using for calibration is long because we need to ventilating liquid flow into the tank to the specific level until letting liquid flow out of the tank. If we would like to the calibration for different flow rate, time spent is double for triple, depend of how many flow rate you want to do calibration. Also, size of the scale is limited for this method. Volumetric standards. The last calibration method I would like to introduce is the calibration method using volumetric standard. This method is using larger tank cover. After obtaining volumetric value from the tank cover, you have to adjust the volumetric values by multiple with collection value before multiply with density that could be obtained by the measuring system that Coriolis meter installed. In order to adjust collected volumetric value into washing value or mass adjust density before multiply volumetric value is needed. Advantage of this method is any preparation and calibration process, including completing volumetric value, obtaining or volumetric value adjust before multiplying with density is well known.
Have we frozen?
Family, more information about ANSI 9.
You're okay now, but you were frozen.
Excuse me, Marian.
Yes, it's okay now.
Hello. Được. Trả lời. Okay, everyone, hear me?
Yes, we can hear you,
Okay.
but your screen isn't showing your mouth moving, which is a bit odd. Speak again. It's not synced, that's for sure. Say something, because I can hear.
Yeah. Wait.
I can hear Campanat.
Yes. Okay, everyone can see slide. Can see
Yes.
this
Yes,
volumetric set.
we can. And we can
Okay.
hear you, so I don't think it matters. I think you should just.
Uh-huh.
And ISO 4185 document. Next slide. Density calibration. To do density calibration, we choose bring to sample of liquid. That's exactly now its density into the tube of the sensor unit. Then demetering, meaning natural frequency of the vibrating tube of these two samples of liquid. When the tube is stimulated under condition that contain different liquid and having different density inside the tube will be also give a
Sorry, it's not working.
of
No, it's not
value
working.
of natural thing y density value.
Unstable เราต้องเน็ตไม่เสร็จพูดใหม่
ของตั้งแต่ตรงไหน and having different density inside the tube will also give a difference of value of natural frequency of the vibrating Y transmitter could calculate slope value and factors by determining two variant from two formula until obtaining density value order within some type of mass flow meter density calibration could don't be using two type of fluids with air and pure water. Next slide, qualification of Coriolis.
I think we need to have a discussion about the calibration methods to see whether people actually understood that, because there was quite a bit of interference.
Marian, a verification of a Coriolis Flowmeter in the afternoon or not?
And well, I would suggest, because it's only it's a long way from lunchtime still, I would suggest we go ahead, but I think we should spend 15 minutes asking people if they have questions, because whether they understood the dry calibration, the wet calibration, and the density calibration. See if there's any questions, or if Philip wants to answer or put some input in there, because it was very disjointed. And also, I think you need to figure out whether you can get the reception to be better for the last part, which is really important.
Mm.
So Philip, I can see, has turned on. So I'm going to let Philip talk. Can you maybe between yourselves work out if you can get the reception to be better? It was fine yesterday with you. Are you guys at Chonburi, or are you in Bangkok? You seem to be in a different place from Benji, is that right?
I think they are in Konkan.
Oh, they're in Konkan. Oh, that's the place. Okay, right. Okay.
That's the
fine.
place in, you can read it in the
Thailand.
name. Konkan is the place. Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right, Philip, do you want to make some comments about the calibration?
No, not really to the calibration, but what I would like to add is there are still some questions open from the chat box. I think these are the questions that we have missed from the, yeah, let me call it from before coffee break.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have not answered these questions yet. We have not answered these questions yet.
Okay, well, it would be a good time to answer them.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, yeah.
So I request Mr. Kampana to stop sharing the screen so I can show you the question that we already captured from the chat box.
Yes.
Mr. Kampana, could you please stop sharing the screen? Please stop sharing the screen.
Well done.
So we got 4 more questions. So the first question is from Indonesia. The question is that what orientation is more accurate, tube down or tube up? According to pipe support, what should oil industry to be preferred, vertical or horizontal?
Benji, are you expecting Philip to answer these questions or the trainers?
Actually, from Thai team, we might answer this question that is depend on the manufacturer information that they might suggest that this for this type of tube for this type of the system the flowmeter should be tube down or tube up. It depend on the manufacturer instruction.
So it'll be in the patent approval, in the
Yes.
type approval.
I think in the question in Indonesia, what orientation is more accurate, tube down or tube up? I think is type of a fluid to use tube down or tube ups, something like that.
Okay, so I would like to conclude from Mr. Gampana that he suggested that it depends on the liquid that the flowmeter gonna be measured. So if the liquid that gonna be measured is gas, so the tube should be down. And if you would like to measure the water or liquid, the tube should be up. Is that okay? Is that right, Mr. Gampana?
Yes.
So here's from Thailand. So how about you, Peter? What is your suggestion for these questions?
Is that to Philip?
I'm sorry, Benji, did you ask me?
Yes, I asked your opinion about this. Your
Answer.
answer. Yes, regarding this.
I was afraid you did because this is a question I simply cannot answer. I don't know.
I actually think what Benji said first would probably be correct, because surely it would have to be in the certificate of approval that it has to be up for gas or down for gas, she said, and up for the other liquids. You would expect it has to be stated somewhere.
Usually the certificates allow any orientation of installation, as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you able to check if I mean, Benji said tube down for gas and up for H2O or other liquids. So is that some convention?
No, I'm sorry. I usually have experienced that the installation is usually tubes down for liquids.
Okay.
And I don't have anything to do with gas. I can't answer a question concerning gas. But I think this is not the difference.
So is there some way we can check that and get the answer correct from my report, and people can find it in the report? 2 down for gas, up for. Mhm. But Philip is saying he's usually saying it down for liquids, which is the opposite. So what effect would that have? The down and the up? And does it matter is what I'm really trying to get to. It could be just a convention and it makes no difference.
Could
Then
be.
usually a convention has a reason. Is there anywhere further you can check, Philip, for us?
Silence.
This is the middle of the night.
That's not the problem. That's no problem. I had a coffee already, so don't worry. I can try to do so, but for this moment, I have no idea.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
That's no problem. Okay. So Benji, we can go on to the next question.
Yes, so the next question from Cambodia. If the repairer cannot repair Coriolis mass flowmeter, what measure can Cbwm takes?
Surely it's the usual. You stop it working. You wouldn't allow it if it can't be fixed. Or does it depend on what's broken?
Actually, it depends on what's damaged or what's broken it is. So typically we do put the label to declare that this meter cannot be used anymore. And some case we also have to fighting for the owner of the meter if we found that they do some kind of suspicion that we might use it for fraud or something like that. So yes, it's actually because this is the weighing and measuring instrument, right? So it's the same kind of other instrument in Thailand. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. That's, you know, if that's a sensible answer, I think that's the way it would be anywhere in the world. Okay, you'll fill that answer in later, won't you? Do you want to do the Philippines one?
Okay, for the next question from Philippines. The question is that do we need to know first the density of the liquid before using the Coriolis flowmeter, or the Coriolis flowmeter can identify also the density of the liquid? So can I invite Philip to answer this question?
Yeah. I have answered this question in the background before, because this is a question I can answer again. And my answer to this question is a Coriolis meter is able to measure the density. Basically, the density does not need to be known before, but you have to make sure the density, the liquid, is within the operating range. You do not need to type in the answer. I have typed it already. I will send it to you, Benji, okay? And the measuring principle for density is being explained in the video that we have seen yesterday. I will at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I will send the video link as well, so you can put it in here into the answers. Is that okay?
That's good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, wait a second. Chat. Okay, send it to you, Benji.
Yes, I got your answer.
That's great. Good. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We're so far away from each other.
Yeah. And still no worries.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have another question from Vietnam.
Yes, the last question is from Vietnam. I think it's the kind of like request from Vietnam that he said that, yes, sir, or madam, can you introducing by video the system calibration for Coriolis meter in Germany or in Thailand, and please inform CMC of your system. Thank you so much.
Sounds like a question for Philip. I'm not sure
I'm
what
sorry,
they're asking.
I
They
think
want-
the question is there any video existing which shows the calibration process of a Coriolis meter? Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
Mr. I think it was Mr. Truc Lee from Vietnam. But I think I'm afraid we do not have any video that I can provide. But I know in the slides in the next session, let me call it the afternoon session, there are several pictures in the slides which might make it clear. But I do not have a video, I'm sorry.
So
Okay.
yeah, from Thailand, we might have we might find some video for the participant, but we might it might took some time. So maybe if we got one calibration video, so we will then forward to you or by email after the training course.
Thank you so much.
That's fantastic. Thank you. That'd be very good. Okay, so in a couple of months, maybe.
Sorry, and for the CMC, I would have to check with the calibration lab first, and then reply to you by email.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so can I suggest that we continue with the course now, because we've got another hour before the scheduled lunchtime. And I'm conscious of the fact that Philip is up in the middle of the night. So if we can use this time.
Don't worry about that.
Well, I'm up in the middle of the afternoon.
I know.
So is that all right, Benji? Can you do that? Or I mean, I don't want us to have another 2-hour lunch hour break. It was too long yesterday.
Yes, I agree.
Good. All right. So all we have to make sure is that we've got, and is there any way we can improve the sound, the reception? Are there any tricks? Like, I'm wondering if it's possible for the slides to be actually managed from your venue. I know it makes it very tricky. And it's only sound that's coming from the presenter.
Yeah,
I mean,
actually,
we can see how it goes, but it was pretty bad at times. I mean, it was just a big noise as opposed to any words.
yes. Okay, so we can manage the slide from here.
Do you want to take a few minutes to talk to the trainer and explain what's happening?
So yeah, let me have some minute and I will talk to the trainer.
Okay, we'll have a 5 minute, have a 5 or 10, let's have a 10-minute break so people can get a coffee. But
Yes.
only 5 minutes. Don't put up that thing for half an hour.
Okay, sure. So please come back by 11:10.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
ยุบเลยเอาความยุบจริง
Okay, so the slide ready with the repeat. You should go on.
Okay. Slide verification of Coriolis Flowmeter. Visual inspection. Next slide. In Thailand, Coriolis mass flowmeter is mostly used in NGV meter in control station for visual inspection. Firstly, checking in the prominence of meter to see that the indicator of the meter is clear and readiness. Next slide. Second, checking control board of the meter and the value system inside the meter that must not to be leaked. Next slide. Connecting internal value also should not be leaked. One of the requirements is that there must be pressure gauge inside the meter. The pressure gauge which used to measure internal pressure must be as large 3000 psi and having a pressure value similar to the master meter used in training process. Okay, next slide is third, checking master meter. Master meter must have a calibration certificate issued by Center Measurement and Measure Thailand, and the calibration due date of the 1 year. Next slide. Verification process. Next slide. Benji YouTube.
นะครับเราทำการเชื่อมต่อจากมาตรวัดนะครับเข้าสู่มาตรวัดมาสเตอร์มิเตอร์นะครับและทำการเชื่อมต่อขาออกนะครับจากมาสเตอร์มิเตอร์เข้าสู่รถที่จะมารับมาตรวัด NGV นะครับเมื่อทำการจัดเสร็จนะครับเจ้าหน้าที่จะเปิดวาล์วนะครับทางออกนะครับที่เชื่อมต่อกับรถนะครับเพื่อจ่ายแก๊สนะครับหลังจากนั้นนะครับผู้จะทำการรันนะครับรันในการจ่าย NGV นะครับออกจากมาตรวัดนะครับเพื่อเข้ากับตัวมาสเตอร์นะครับตอนนี้นะครับเราจะทำที่น้ำหนัก10กิโลกรัมนะครับตู้ก็จะรันไปเรื่อยๆนะครับจนถึงน้ำหนัก10กิโลกรัมนะครับ นะครับมาตรวัดก็ HPV ก็ทำการรันอยู่นะครับเมื่อใกล้น้ำหนักที่10 กิโลกรัมนะครับเจ้าหน้าที่จะให้สัญญาณและปิดวาล์วทางออกนะครับเจ้าหน้าที่ปิดวาล์วทางออกเสร็จเรียบร้อยนะครับแล้วก็เมื่อรอค่าจากมาตรวัดและพูเปอร์นิ่งนะครับเจ้าหน้าที่จะปิดสวิตช์ออฟนะครับก็หยุดการทำงานของตู้นะครับแล้วอ่านค่าที่มาตรวัดนะครับแล้วก็อ่านค่าที่พูเปอร์นะครับโดยเทียบค่าจากพูเปอร์นะครับเทียบกับมาตรวัดนะครับตัวมาสเตอร์มิเตอร์เป็นแบบมาตรานะครับอ่านค่าที่มาสเตอร์นะครับได้ 10.4027 นะครับและอ่านค่าที่มาตรวัดนะครับที่ทำการทดสอบได้ 10.444 นะครับจากนั้นนะครับนำมาคำนวณนะครับในโปรแกรม Excel นะครับจะได้ค่าผลผิดเป็นกิโลนะครับลบ 0.042 นะครับและได้ค่าผลผิดเป็นเปอร์เซ็นต์นะครับ 0.404 นะครับโดยทางกฎกระทรวงของเรานะครับให้ค่าผลผิดได้ไม่เกิน 1% นะครับตอนนี้ทำการทดสอบครั้งแรกนะครับ
Okay. Okay. Back slide.
Slide number
1 170อันนี้ครับ177
Okay, open slide 177. Okay. One seven seven.เป็นไม่ได้ยินใช่ไหมเมื่อกี้177 Voilà. Okay.
Okay. First training on smart for 10 to 30 minutes. For normal operation, connecting the Coriolis flowmeter directly to the master meter and exit to car using two gas refueling service. Then zero setting the meter and master meter to mass gas supply. After that, connect to meter to master meter to close gas from flowmeter for choose the test system, weighing about 10 to 20 kilogram each run. Next slide. Then zero setting the meter and the master meter. Then turn on switch off the meter to supply gas. Then wait until the value of the gas dispenser to the required quantity close the master meter and turn off switch at the dispenser at the same time every time with the last weight using 10 kilogram time weight 20 kilo time weight as 30 kilo time as 1 kilo min 1 time and as any weight 1 time. Next slide. Take the reading from the master meter and calculation the tolerance to find the allowance and find the repeat error. Next slide. Verification seal. There are 3 positions for sealing. The first position is at the top over. Produce is the close. The top list. Trading the wise and squeezing the verification. Prior for making marks, sealing the position is to prevent K-factor adjustment. Okay, next slide. Oh, next slide. The second and third position is at the top cover of the control board to prevent miss. Okay, next slide. This is an example of verification certificate issued by Cbwm as meter type, Cbwm number, capacity, verification number, expiration days, manufacturer, repair mark, name is valid file, offer, verification days, batch, model, and serial number, NGV match 4. Okay, the yellow curtain is anomaly inspection sticker. Next slide. K factor adjustments. Next slide. YouTube. Open YouTube.
การปรับค่า K นะครับมาตรวัด NGV นะครับเราจะต้องเปิดฝานะครับที่ตัวมาตรวัดนะครับเพื่อเชื่อมต่อสายลิงก์นะครับเพื่อเชื่อมเข้ากับตัวคอมพิวเตอร์นะครับจากนั้นนะครับเข้าที่โปรแกรมโปรลิงก์นะครับเลือกไอคอน Connect นะครับแล้วเลือกพอร์ตที่จะต้องทำการเชื่อมต่อนะครับเพื่อดูค่า K นะครับพอเลือกพอร์ตที่การเชื่อมต่อนะครับต้องเข้าไปดูที่ค่า config นะครับมุมซ้ายมือนะครับเข้าไปที่ config นะครับพอเลือกที่ config เสร็จแล้วนะครับจะต้องเลือกค่า flow นะครับแล้วเราจะเห็นค่า K นะครับที่มาตรวัดนะครับแสดงนะครับโดยการปรับปริมาตรนะครับเราต้องปรับที่ค่า K ตัวนี้นะครับมากหรือน้อยนะครับแล้วเป็นการปรับค่า K ณจุดนี้นะครับโอเคครับ
Okay, firstly, open the top cover. Add the meter to connect link cable to the computer. Next slide. Okay, next slide. Second, open the ProLinks program with installed on the computer, then selecting the Connect to Physical Device menu, then selecting Protocol as Service ports, then selecting PC ports according to the reading port of the meter, then pressing the connect button to connect. Next slide. Third, click on the process variable, then select the configuration menu, then click to the flow menu. Next slide. Then adjust the K factor on the mass flow rate meter factor menu. Calculation correction factor. Next slide. Simple determination of MP and repeatability. Simple test Y as 10 kilogram. As follows. Round 1, 0.511%. As round 2, 0.769%. As round 3, 0.257%. Next slide. Repeat error formula. MPE max minus MPE min. The result of the MPE calculation. Less 1 and the repeat value less 1 where calculate of have passed the test. The insufficient form subject.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Putti. Any questions for the verification session? Any comments from Philip?
No.
I was interested to see that there was video, so hopefully that helped clarify for people.
And this also answers one of the questions that we had before when somebody asked for giving a video, and now we've got one. Benji, can you put it in the PTB box?
It's
The
already
videos?
there.
Yes, I already put the verification and also the K factor adjustment into the PTB box.
Okay, perfect.
And so when somebody looks at the slides, they can go to the link for the YouTubes anyway, right? They can do that as well. If they go through the slides, they just click when they get to the right spot. Mr. Noor from Malaysia is saying some of the slides did not have any description. Do you want to ask that question? Tell us what you want. Maybe just speak to us, Noor. Tell us what you want extra. Nor is it, can you hear me? Is there anything more you want to say? Because we can't help you with just that remark. It doesn't help us to know what to do. Okay. Are there any other questions from anybody else that need to be answered? Okay, well, I've got one thing I wanted to say. I've been studying the questions that we did answer, we were asked. And I was wondering if maybe there's a bit more meaning to one of them, the one that Singapore asked. So I'm wondering, it's a question, it's the very first question on this list. It says, what criteria to determine 2 years for valid verification? And I'm wondering if what they want to know is what are the critical criteria to consider when determining whether you're going to give it a 2-year verification or a 1-year verification. So that would be with your regulations. Now, I concocted an answer myself, so you can see whether you think I'm right or not. My view on that is that an economy would be looking at how often the instruments are used. So if you've got